Okay, so this is a little Disney tablet. So you say, "Hey Disney, play music."
Here's iHeartRadio.
And then it takes you to the radio where it plays Disney songs. Oh my gosh. How cute. And then it does loads of other fun stuff as well, and I'm just obsessed with it. I'm like, how can I have one of these in my house? So yeah, love it. Okay, so these are some of the other things that it can do. So you can play games with it, it can set an alarm, it can tell you a joke, all sorts. I just thought that was like super cute. Yeah. Good morning, everybody. So today is my 34th birthday, so I'm at Disney World. I'm so excited. I basically went rogue this year. Usually I spend my birthday with my friends, my family, but this year I was like, no, I'm actually going to just do something for me and go to Disney World by myself and just have a long weekend enjoying all the things I want to do and not having to worry about someone else and what they want to do. So here I am. So I'm staying at Coronado Springs Resort. It's Good Friday today. My birthday falls on Easter this year. So yeah, so today I'm going to EPCOT and then we'll see how things go. But anyway, come with me. Also, I brought all of my birthday cards with me, well, the ones that had arrived in the post by the time that I was leaving. So I opened those this morning while I ate a cream egg and it was magical. So I left super early to get to EPCOT for rope drop, and honestly I lucked out with this empty bus. I could not believe it. It was the first time I've been on an empty bus at Disney. But I got to EPCOT and honestly, I highly recommend getting there for rope drop. It was amazing. Okay, I'm in EPCOT because I'm staying at a Disney resort. I'm in before it opens to the general public, and it's so empty. Like, I've never seen it this empty before. This is amazing. So I wanted to do Ratatouille, but that's temporarily closed. So I'm just gonna walk to the Frozen Ever After ride, and hopefully that one will be open. So originally I was going to put music on this video, but the ambient sounds, like the natural sounds, are just so lovely. I can't do it. So here is Disney with the natural ambient sounds. So my microphone is a little bit of a mess at the moment, so please excuse any cracking. I need to get a new one. But oh, I love the World Showcase so much. It's just so magical. And I also managed to get a cute video from Snow White for my little cousin. But yeah, also the Flower and Garden Festival was on while I was at Epcot. Highly recommend going during the Flower and Garden Festival because it was just stunning, like absolutely stunning. So beautiful. I still cannot get over the displays and the topiaries. It was just amazing. Also, I 100% recommend going to either Guardians of the Galaxy or Frozen as soon as you get there at rope drop before the queue builds up, and then walk around the World Showcase because there was hardly anybody else walking around the World Showcase because it was before 11 a.m., which is when all of the food stalls open. So it was empty, so I was able to kind of walk around with hardly anyone else there, and it was one of the best things that I did. Honestly though, just take your time, soak up all of it, enjoy every little nook and cranny in these worlds because the attention to detail is just amazing. I also highly recommend the crepes in France. Honestly, this caramelized apple crepe was incredible. After I had my crepe, my family called me to wish me a happy birthday, and it was so lovely sitting by the Skyliner, just chatting to my family in the shade, the dappled sunlight. It was dreamy. And then I did Remy's Ratatouille ride, and then after that, I went to the UK World because obviously being British, I had to go there, and obviously it was my favourite because hello, look at the Twinings Tea Garden for the festival. It was absolutely breathtaking, completely like oh, I completely fell in love with it. Like Epcot is just such a beautiful park. I think it's so underrated. And it really is. I think it's probably my favourite out of all the parks. It just feels more relaxed. than Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios. But Guardians of the Galaxy, hands down, my favorite ride in the whole of Disney.
Xandar. As you have seen, your world and ours were born of the same moment.
Oh my gosh, I just went on Guardians of the Galaxy. It was insane. Like, absolutely insane, but amazing. And then it was time for my birthday lunch. Oh my God. I went to Space 220. I don't, is it 220, 220, 220, whatever. It was incredible. Like, hands down, the best, like, experience, as in a food restaurant experience I've ever been to. This, like, it genuinely felt like you were in space, in a spaceship. It was just amazing. I won't lie though, the food was not the best. It was fine. It's Disney food. It's never going to be amazing. Um, it did the job. It was filling, but yeah. And I did love this cute little birthday ice cream they gave me, and it actually tasted of birthday cake. After all that food, I did not want to do any rides because I was so full. So I just wandered through Moana's Journey of Water. This was lovely, a little crowded, but thoroughly enjoyed it. Also, did you know that I actually visited Samoa because I was so obsessed with the first Moana film? Honestly, Samoa is like the dreamiest country ever. I loved it so much. Highly recommend going there. Honestly, by this point, I'd been at Epcot for almost 6 hours, and I was kind of ready to go to a different place. So, I'd done all the rides that I wanted to do. So I figured, hey, I'll get the Skyliner, head on over to Hollywood Studios. I did get distracted by the band playing in Canada, though. And then it was Skyliner time. This was my first time on the Skyliner, and honestly, I'm in love with it. Having some time just to sit down in air conditioning, well, not even aircon, but just fresh air, cool air, was bliss.
Welcome aboard the Disney Skyliner at Epcot International Gateway.
Hello. Okay, so I'm just in one of the little Skyliner things. And I've just spent the past 6 hours at Epcot. And I just got some. Oh,
Soon we'll be flying past Disney's
gosh.
Boardwalk Inn and Disney's Boardwalk Villas.
Okay.
This charming lakeside resort offers magical
gosh.
lounges, enchanting
So
restaurants, and live entertainment on the boardwalk
Yeah, so basically,
every
so I
evening.
just spent 6 hours at Epcot, and had the best time. But it's 2:30, and I kind of did everything that I wanted to do in Epcot. So I'm heading over to Hollywood Studios because I really want to do Rise of the Resistance, and the pass, I've got a park hopper pass. So yeah, I'm going to do Rise of the Resistance, have a wander around Hollywood Studios. Originally I was going to do it on Sunday before I go to Magic Kingdom, but I was like, you know what, if I do it this afternoon, then Sunday I can just go to Magic Kingdom and do Magic Kingdom all day. So yeah, so the timings have worked out perfectly, honestly. Like, I basically had planned way too much time for each thing. So yeah, so I'm way ahead of schedule. I am that person that plans like everything. So yeah, but anyway, so this is my 34th
We are now
birthday.
approaching the sky.
So honestly, Hollywood Studios is actually my least favorite park in terms of rides. The only ride that I really love there is Rise of the Resistance, but I do also really like Star Tours. I love any kind of simulator. So those are the two that I always go on when I go to Hollywood Studios. But I love the theming of the park. Like, visually and aesthetically, it is stunning. I love the vibes of it. So I like going there just to wander around, soak it all up, do my two rides, and then that's it. So for me, it's very much a half day park. I know that a lot of people think that it's a full day park, or, if you've got young kids, it probably is. But for me, as a solo traveler, it's a half day park, if that. But Rise of the Resistance, hands down one of the best rides in the whole of Disney. worth going to Hollywood Studios just for this ride. But really, like, the main reason I go to this park is just the theming. Like, the golden age of Hollywood theming is just visually stunning. I also love that they have Glenn Miller music playing everywhere in the park. He is one of my favorite musicians. But another thing I managed to do on this trip was finally see Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular. It was worth the wait. It was very entertaining. Thoroughly enjoyed myself. Also, I do have a cardiac condition, which is why I will never go on Tower of Terror because it is not worth it for me. But after Hollywood Studios, I then headed back to the hotel for a couple of hours in the aircon before going to Disney's Boardwalk Inn Resort. I am in love with this place. I want to stay there next time. It is aesthetically beautiful. It is so dreamy. I honestly could have spent hours on this boardwalk. It was just so lovely. But my reason for being here was because I was going to the cake bake shop to get a slice of cake for my birthday cake. Now the Earl's chocolate cake is their famous cake. So that is obviously what I wanted to get, but there were so many to choose from, and honestly, I wanted to try a little bit of all of them. But I was good. I just got one slice. They were like $22 per slice. But it was delicious. It has glitter in it. I was a very happy girl. Here is the receipt. And there is my hand for size, so you can see just how huge this cake was. But yeah, I didn't finish all of it. It was just too much, but I got through quite a bit. And then I walked back round to Epcot for the fireworks. Because let's face it, I was not going to miss a fireworks show on my birthday. Like, what an epic way to finish your birthday.
It's alright. It's alright. Oh, it's
So it is the end of my 34th birthday. I just went to Jelly Rolls. It closes in 2 days. So yeah, it was so much fun. They have dueling pianos in there. The music was great. Now I'm just walking along the boardwalk to get an Uber back to my hotel. Like the previous day, I got the bus from Coronado Springs, over to Animal Kingdom. And this was my very first time at Animal Kingdom. I had never been before. Despite coming to Disney World multiple times over my lifetime, I had never been to Animal Kingdom. But I was so impressed. I absolutely loved it. I loved the theming, I loved the nature, the trees, the sounds, the music, all of it was just so relaxing. It felt so tranquil. It felt very different to all the other Disney parks, and I just completely fell in love with it. But I did think that it was a half day park. I was planning to spend the entire day here and ended up spending half the day here. I'll tell you a little bit more about why later on in the video. But I started off by going to Navi River Journey. Guys, this is now one of my favorite rides in the whole of Walt Disney World. It was amazing. Like, I've never even seen Avatar the film, and it's made me want to watch that film now. I was just totally in love with this ride. It was absolutely beautiful. It is a water ride though, and I do love water rides anyway. But everything about this was just stunning. It was just the atmosphere, the lighting, the aesthetics, like the whole design of it, all of it, the music. I just could not get over it. I highly recommend doing this ride if you're going to Disney World. Like, you need to do this ride. That's not actually just a recommendation, that's an order. You need to go and do this ride, please. I wish I could have stayed on Navi River Journey for hours, but sadly I could not. So it was time to head to Tusker House for my very first character breakfast. Now, I was slightly unsure about doing this solo, but I ended up having a really, really good experience. I won't lie, it was a little bit awkward being like a solo adult hugging characters, but you know what? I thoroughly enjoyed hugging the characters. The food was okay. I preferred the sweet things to the savory, but it was fine. Is it a little bit overpriced? Yes, but it's all about the experience, so we'll just go with it, and I will recommend it. After breakfast, though, I had a wander around, and oh, it just made me fall in love with this place even more. I loved all the water everywhere. I just loved all the trees, like all the nature, all the kind of little villages, and just the like architecture and everything about it. It was just so different. It was so interesting. I loved it. But it was very busy. There were a lot of strollers. So next time I come to Disney, which is next year, I'm 100% going to come to Animal Kingdom later in the afternoon. Apparently, that is the quietest time to go to Animal Kingdom because everybody goes in the morning. But next up was Flights of Passage. Oh my gosh, you guys. Thankfully, I had a lightning lane because I could not have stood in this queue for hours. But yeah, I am a Potts girly, so queues and me do not mix at all. So thank goodness I had the lightning lane because I think this queue was about 2.5 hours long when I checked on the app. But I loved Flights of Passage. It was
Please make
amazing.
sure you can all see the screen.
The way you're gonna do this is by being matched to something called an avatar. And I'm here to help you guys get ready.
Okay, so I just did the Avatar Flights of Passage ride. Was amazing. But I feel like I've kind of done Animal Kingdom. So I'm just gonna head over to Magic Kingdom for the afternoon and do some of the rides and things there instead. After soaking up the last little bits of magic from this park, I got the bus over to Magic Kingdom and I managed to get there just in time for one of the parades. But of course, I went via the shops first on my way down because you cannot get into Magic Kingdom and not go straight to the confectionery store. The old style confectionery store is so whimsical and magical. I just love all the Mickey shaped treats. They're just so cute. I did refrain from buying any though because the parade was starting. After the parade, I walked over to the castle because did you even go to Magic Kingdom if you didn't go up to the castle and take a selfie with it? No. I also love this Winnie the Pooh statue so much. It's so cute. I checked the app and the Little Mermaid queue was so short, it was like 10 minutes. So obviously I was straight in there. I love the Little Mermaid ride so much. It's just full of nostalgia. And as a solo rider, you get your own clamshell too, which is always nice. But oh, just enjoy this ride because it's so cute.
Nobody beat us right, eat us in free. We want the land folks off the book, under the sea we off the hook. Get out the land, this is the second time this month, they know where it's at. What's this? You've come to a stop.
P.S. If this ever happens to you, do not panic. it's usually just because they're loading up somebody who's using a wheelchair. That's it. You'll get moving soon, I promise. One Aurora Dole Whip later, and I was ready and refueled to go on the Liberty Square riverboat for one last time before it closed. I'm so sad that they're actually getting rid of this soon, and I totally understand why, but I actually love going on the riverboat just for like a little chill out session between rides. But after the riverboat, I finally went on Tiana's Bayou Adventure. I was so excited for this and I loved it so much. I actually ended up going on it 3 times during the course of my trip. Thankfully, I had Lightning Lane for this because I was not going to queue in that ginormous queue. It looked hell. I'm not going to lie, it looked hellish. Look at it. But you guys, this ride is incredible. It is 100% worth Lightning Lane because it's just stunning. Like, I loved it so much as Splash Mountain, but I loved it even more as Tiana's Bayou Adventure. It was so beautiful. It was so much fun. I had the best time. And then it was parade time again, but this time it was the Easter parade. So I'm going to leave you now with the Easter parade because it was magical. It was amazing. I loved it. Okay, so I've just come back to my hotel room for a little break. I feel like such a sweaty mess after being at the parks all day, but look how cute this is. Housekeeping came. Hang on, let me turn you around. Look. How cute is that? It's Easter tomorrow, so I bought my own little chocolate lint bunny with me to have tomorrow, and housekeeping put it on the bed. How adorable is that? Anyway, so I just had an hour by the swimming pool and it was lovely. I had a little nap and now I'm back in my room and I'm going to get sorted and then I'm going to head back to Hollywood Studios because I'm going to go see Fantasmic tonight, which I have not ever seen before. But today was a bit of a weird one in the end, actually. So originally I had planned to spend the entire day at Animal Kingdom. And then I got to Animal Kingdom this morning and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like, I'd never been there before. Even as a child, I'd never been. And I went on the 2 Avatar rides this morning. Loved both of them. Like, both of them were absolutely amazing. And then I had breakfast at Tusker House. Then afterwards, I was wandering around and I was just kind of like, I don't really want to go on anything else here. Like, I had planned to go on other things, but when I got to them, like to the rides, I was like, just not feeling it. Don't really want to go on. Yeah, and I just like, I loved the theming. Like, the theming of Animal Kingdom was amazing. But I would say it is very small. It feels a little bit like Hollywood Studios, where it's like more of a half day theme park. And yeah, by this point it was like 11:30. I got there about 8:30, so I'd had like 2 or 3 hours there. But because I got in so early this morning, there was like a 10-minute queue for one of the rides, and then for flights of passage, I had lightning lanes, so I was in so quickly. And yeah, I was kind of like, I don't really want to spend the rest of the day here. So I was like, I'm just gonna go Magic Kingdom. So I got the bus to Magic Kingdom, and it was so good. Like, I'm so glad I did that instead, because I feel like I had a really good mix. Like, I had a nice kind of relaxed, slow morning at Animal Kingdom, and then Magic Kingdom was pure chaos. It was so busy. But it was busy, but weirdly the wait times were really short for rides. Like Pirates of the Caribbean, I think it was only about a 20-minute wait, whereas like I've seen wait times for that ride being like an hour to an hour and a half, similar to The Little Mermaid. Again, that was like a 10-minute wait. And again, I've seen wait times for that one being like over an hour before. So yeah, I had a lovely time. I had an ice cream, a Dole Whip, the Aurora one, which is blue and strawberry. I have no idea what the blue flavour is, but it was delicious. What else did I do? Oh my god, I did Tiana's Bayou adventure. That was amazing. Because yeah, last time I did that, it was Splash Mountain, and it was all the Brer Rabbit theming. So, oh my gosh, the new theming is incredible. Like, so amazing. Everything's just beautiful. And then I did the Liberty Bell boat ride, which I love because that's disappearing in a couple of months' time, so I wanted to go on that one last time. So yeah, and actually it was quite nice getting some of those like big Magic Kingdom things ticked off, because when I go tomorrow, I can kind of take it easy and not be rushing around trying to get on all the rides. So yeah, it was good. And then they had the Easter Parade. Oh my god, I almost cried. Like, Easter Parade is one of my favourite films. If you haven't seen it, it's Fred Astaire. It's brilliant, and it's where that famous song Easter Parade is from. As in, like, you know, I'm not going to sing it because I can't sing, but you would have seen it on my just a little while ago, because yeah, in the Easter Parade at Disney, they used the song from the film, and I was like, oh, as soon as I heard it, I was just like, oh my god, they're doing an actual Easter Parade using the song, and I got quite emotional, which is very sad, but it was great, loved it. And then by that point I was just hot and fed up and I needed a rest, so that's when I came back here. And yeah, now I'm feeling much better and more rested. I've only done 18,000 steps today, whereas yesterday I did 27,000. So yeah, but yeah, I'm just gonna kind of sort myself out. It's 6 o'clock. I'm gonna head over to Hollywood Studios, get some food, and then watch Fantasmic. It's at 8:30, so it's quite early, and then I'll get an early night ready for tomorrow. And then tomorrow is my last Disney day. I actually cannot believe it. Like, it's gone so fast. I mean, I've only had 2 days here because my total like Disney park days are only 3 days. But still, I can't believe I'm like more than halfway through. It's gone very quickly. But it's been so much fun. So yeah, I'm excited for tomorrow though. I'm going to do all the things, eat all the food, and yeah, now I have to figure out where I'm going to go for dinner tonight, because I have no idea. Anyway, I'll see you later. Bye. Oh, I do love Hollywood Studios and the whole aesthetic of it. I went straight to Star Tours when I got there because there was no queue at all. It was amazing. But let's not talk about dinner, because I went to the Backlot Express and it was horrific. Like, probably the worst meal I've ever had at Disney World. It was horrible. But soon it was time for Fantasmic. Oh my gosh. I fell in love with this show. I think this is actually my favourite show in the whole of Walt Disney World. Like, I prefer it to the fireworks at Magic Kingdom. I prefer it to EPCOT. This was incredible. It completely blew me away. Also, there's seating. Morning, it is my last day at Disney. Today I have my ears back on. I did not wear them yesterday, but I'm doing Magic Kingdom today, so I thought, you know what, I feel like I need the ears. So there we go. And then also, I have my Mickey Mouse t-shirt on. This t-shirt I got from Asda like 2 years ago, I think it was, and I wore it on my little day trip to Disney last February, as in February last year, not this February. But yeah, I'm so sad it's my last day, but also my body is broken, like you guys. I'm not even joking, my body feels like a mess. I'm so tired, and it's only been, I've had 2 park days. I'm like, how do people do this for like 2 weeks, even 1 week? How do people do this? Yeah, but I know, like, I think it's because I've been coming back at like 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, having like 1 or 2 hours to chill and like get ready and then go out in the evening. Whereas like when I was a child, we would kind of like come back to the hotel after lunch, we would spend a couple of hours by the swimming pool, we would have a nap, we would really decompress and then go back out later. So I think that's where I've gone wrong. I think it's just because I'm not taking enough time in the afternoons to actually rest. But I think it's that thing where like if you were here for longer, you would feel like you could have that time where you could spend more time resting in the afternoon to take it a bit slower. But because I'm only here for 3 full days, I don't really want to waste time just resting in the hotel, you know? So anyway, but I've had the best time. I'm just gonna like enjoy today, make the most of it, go on the ride. Also, I find it so funny, you can like see me in the mirror just there, like, hi. So yeah, that's the plan. Come with me and enjoy Disney with me for 1 more day. Alright, so my last day at Magic Kingdom, I was there bright and early. I made sure that I made full use of my 30-minute early perk from staying at a Disney resort. So I went straight to Peter Pan because the line is always huge for this ride. Even getting there early, there was still a 20-minute wait, but honestly, I was happy with a 20-minute wait. Like, this was nothing compared to normal. It's just such a fun ride to me. Like, it's just so nostalgic. It's really like it's so lovely. I love it. I know that it's kind of, a lot of people hate it. It's like a love or hate ride. I personally love it. Like, it's just so nostalgic and like so whimsical and just very Disney, like very classic Disney. But after that, I needed my Tiana's fix. So luckily it was still so early. The park was dead, like it was so quiet. Look how quiet it is. So I headed straight to Tiana's Bayou Adventure. This was my second ride of the trip. I actually ended up riding it 3 times. I loved it so much. But even though this was my second ride of the day from the rope drop, it was so quiet still. I was so surprised. Again, I waited maybe like 10 to 15 minutes. It really was nothing. Like, the queue was nothing. I just cannot get enough of this ride. Like, I love it so much. So I'm gonna leave you with the little clips that I got of this because I don't want to talk over them. Bye. I was desperate to ride Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. I've never ridden this before. Usually I'm a Thunder Mountain Railroad girly, but it's closed at the moment. The queue for this was so long, like ridiculously long. It was a great ride, but it was very short. Still prefer Thunder Mountain. And then I needed a pretzel. I decided to go on Haunted Mansion because the queue was pretty short, and then I remembered why I hate the Haunted Mansion. Like, I'm just not a fan, it creeps me out. But never mind, I caught a parade on my way back through to get some Dole Whip. This was delicious. So I just went to get the pineapple Dole Whip, and classic adult, I saw a humongous line and was like, oh my god, that's the Dole Whip line. It wasn't, it was to meet the princesses. The Dole Whip line was empty. But I've just had my pineapple Dole Whip. It was amazing. And now I'm just chilling, just walking through the park. I'm gonna go to Tomorrowland now and do that little area. My ears. On my way through to Tomorrowland, I managed to catch I think it's the Main Street Philharmonic, and oh my gosh, these guys were so amazing. I actually stopped for like 15 minutes to listen to them. I have got about 5 minutes of footage of them playing, and I want you to watch it because they're just so much fun. They're just incredible. So I'm going to leave you for a little bit with this footage. If you want to skip ahead, feel free to do that. I will mark in the video where Tomorrowland is, so you can skip ahead if you want to, but I promise you will not be disappointed if you stop and listen to this band. Do think that one of the great things about Disney is just kind of going with the flow. Like, I'm so glad that I caught the band and that I was able to just sit down on the ground and watch them for a while because it really kind of decompressed me a little bit. And I then walked over to Tomorrowland and I did two rides. I did the Carousel of Progress, which I can't remember ever seeing before, but I loved it. It was great to sit down in aircon for 20 minutes. And then I did the People Mover, and I have not done the People Mover since I was a child. But honestly, I loved it. I had the best time. Like, it's just such a relaxing ride. I love that you kind of get to see Disney from another angle. And it was just super relaxing and really kind of peaceful. And I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I also loved that as a solo traveler, solo rider, I got my own little cart, which was cute. It was just great. Highly recommend.
Now approaching Tomorrowland Transit Authority Station.
My fellow sentient life forms, our people mover journey has nearly come full orbit. Thanks for riding with us. It's been a pleasure to have you aboard. And even though we're concluding, this is always my favorite part.
Now, because it was my birthday weekend, I obviously had to try the Merry on Birthday cupcake. It was a little bit too sweet for me, and I was a bit tired by this point. I felt like a change of scenery, so I headed over to Epcot. Alright, I'm just going to get the monorail to Epcot because I'm desperate to ride Guardians of the Galaxy again. This is when the park hopper ticket comes in really handy, and it's why I love the park hopper so much. Like, I do tend to find that around lunchtime or just after lunch, I get a little bit overwhelmed, a bit overstimulated, and I just really need that break and a different like a kind of change in scenery and a different park to kind of help me feel a bit more rejuvenated and kind of get me back in the like Disney mode, I guess. So yeah, I would recommend the park hopper. I was also really desperate to ride Guardians again. Like, it is hands down my favourite ride. It's up there with Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And Epcot just has such a more relaxed vibe than Magic Kingdom. It's just, yeah, I find it a lot more peaceful, a lot more low key. So I did find that it helped going there after Magic Kingdom. And honestly, 100% worth going just for Guardians. Okay, we're going in again. Let's see which song we get this time.
Our Xandarian system boasts 3 stars or suns, 2 yellow and 1 red. Observant Terrans may have noted
Your world and ours were born of the same moment.
Hands down, the best Disney ride. 100%. And after another salted pretzel to get my salt levels up, it was time to head back to the hotel to chill. Hello, it's me again. I'm all sweaty and dishevelled. This has just been a standard now for 3 days. I basically came back to my room after a day at Disney. I got back here about 4 o'clock, and then I've literally just for the past 2 hours I've just laid on the bed, and at first I was like, yeah, I'm gonna like have a shower, I'm gonna like sort my face out, sort my hair out. I haven't. I just laid on my bed for 2 hours and watched American news. So here we are now at 6 o'clock, and I'm gonna head back to Disney. My plan now is basically for dinner, I'm just gonna eat all the things. Like, I really want to go back to Casey's because I haven't been to Casey's for years, and I want one of their hot dogs. I also want one of their mint julep lemonades. And then there are a bunch of snacks that I want to eat. So I can never pronounce it, beignets. Yeah, those. I want one of those. I also want the grey stuff cupcake from Gaston. Is it Gaston's Tavern? I think sells those. So yeah, there's just like a bunch of things, snacky things that I really want. So I'm gonna do that. I also want to go back on Tiana's. I've already gone on it twice, but I only need to go on it a 3rd time because I'm just obsessed. I think Tiana's and Guardians of the Galaxy are my top 2 rides so far, but I'm also going to do Tron later. So I have 1 lightning lane left that I'm saving for Tron, but I'm going to wait until after the fireworks because I want to ride it when it's dark, because then it's all lit up. In the daytime it looks a bit naff, it looks a bit like, why? But at night it's like all lit up and it looks amazing, so I'm going to do that. And then yeah, if I have enough energy, like after Tron and the fireworks, I'm going to go to the Grand Floridian because they've got some cute Easter displays apparently, so we'll see what they have there. Yeah, that's my plan. I won't lie, I'm exhausted. I feel a little bit delirious. Like, I'm a little bit like all over the place. My shoulder hurts, my feet hurts, everything aches, and my heart rate's not too bad at the moment, but I'm getting little palpitations. So yeah, I think 3 days has definitely been enough for me and my body. I've loved it. It's been amazing. I've had the best time. It's been so much fun. Oh gosh, I feel like I need to do some deep breathing. My breathing is not good right now. But anyway, off I go again. See you there. I highly recommend going back to the hotel in the afternoons to chill. It makes such a big difference. And it meant that I kind of went back to Magic Kingdom. I was excited to be back there. I was ready to kind of explore and do some new things. I got a hot dog. I got my mint julep lemonade. And I tried the beignets, which, oh my goodness, you guys, these were magical. Highly recommend. They were incredible. Definitely getting them again next time. Like, I was quite surprised. The only other beignets that I've had were actually in New Orleans, and these tasted just as good as the ones I had in New Orleans. So I was a happy girly. These were so good. Um, when I was kind of refueled with all my food, I braved the queue for Jungle Cruise. I do love Jungle Cruise, but I'm not sure I will go on it next time I go back to Disney. I'm going back to Disney next year, and I just don't think it's worth the queue, you know? Like, it's a good ride if there's like a queue that's less than 20 minutes. If the queue is over 20 minutes, I would say it's just not worth it. But it was nice to sit down for a little bit. It was also just good for passing the time before Tron. As I mentioned earlier, I really wanted to ride Tron in the dark, so I had to wait for sunset and after sunset. So I timed it perfectly. I managed to get to Tron half an hour before the fireworks. I had a lightning lane for it, so I walked straight on. I loved this ride. It was my first time on it. I was so nervous and so scared to go on this ride. And I had the best time. Like, I really, really enjoyed it. It was so much fun. Like, it was just electrifying and just made me like giggle from how fun it was. So yeah, would definitely recommend doing Tron. Would also recommend doing the lightning lane for it if you can, because I've heard that the queues are like 2 hours sometimes. And then finally, it was time for the fireworks. Honestly, you just cannot beat Magic Kingdom fireworks. They are pure magic. Immediately after the fireworks, I legged it to Tiana's. I was literally running. Everybody was running to try and get there before a huge queue formed. Thankfully, there was no queue. It was amazing. I got straight on, but look at my heart rate. It was 139, and that was like after I'd calmed down and had kind of was now walking onto the ride. But totally worth it. It was so good to go on it one last time. You guys know I love this ride, and it was really nice to go on it at night as well and see it all lit up. Really loved it. It is worth noting that you can go on rides after the fireworks as well before the park officially closes. But after Tiana's, I was ready to go. I was so tired. So yeah, I headed for the buses, got the bus back to the resorts, and it was just the most perfect final day at Disney. I had such a great time, and it made me want to go back again. So I have already booked to go next year. 3 days at Disney, done. I'm so tired now. Good morning. So it is my last morning at Disney World. Well, yesterday was my last proper day at Disney World where I did the parks. Today I'm checking out of my Disney resort and I'm gonna have quite a chilled out day today before I head over to the Marriott World Center Orlando, where I will be just for tonight. And the reason that I'm in that hotel is because I got my flights wrong. So basically I booked 4 nights at the Disney Resort and I don't know why, but like I booked the wrong flights basically. I just miscalculated it. So instead of booking my flights to fly tonight, I accidentally booked them to fly tomorrow night instead. So then I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, what do I do? Do I book an extra night at Disney? But then that was like way more, that was like a lot of extra money for a mistake. So I was like, you know what, I had a free night at the Marriott with my credit card. If I spend over a certain amount a year, which I always do, you get a free night at a Marriott hotel. If it's like under a certain amount of points or something. Anyway, so I used that. So tonight is free basically, other than the resort fee, which is like $40, I think. But yeah, it's a lot cheaper than an extra night at the Disney Resort. Anyway, so that is why I'm changing hotels and I'm going to the Marriott Resort later this afternoon. But today, it's been a bit of a weird one so far. It's 9:30 now. But I woke up so early, I had such a bad night's sleep, and I woke up early, and the Pope has died. And I'm Catholic, and I love Papa Francesco. Papa Francesco is like, mwah, love him to bits. So I was really sad this morning. I was literally just moping in bed, watching the news, like, what do I do? I was trying to see if there were like any services happening in any of the churches nearby. Couldn't see anything online. They don't update their social media very often. So yeah, anyway, so I went for breakfast, had some Mickey waffles, which cheered me up a little bit. And yeah, and now I'm gonna check out of my room like now. And then I'm gonna do a bit of a resort hop because originally last night I was going to do a resort hop after the fireworks and doing the final rides that I wanted to do. But it was so late, I was so tired, my feet were killing me. So after I rode Tiana's for the 3rd time, I was like, you know what, I just need to go to bed. So I'm going to do a bit of a resort hop this morning because I really want to see the Easter display at the Grand Floridian Resort. So I think I'm going to get the shuttle bus over to Magic Kingdom and then the monorail to Grand Floridian. Have a look at a couple of the resorts over that way that are on the monorail. And then I'm going to get a shuttle bus to Disney Springs and go for lunch at Disney Springs, probably at the boathouse. And then after that, I'm going to come back to the hotel, get my bags, go to the Marriott, leave my bags there, and then I'm going to do some more shopping. I don't think I've told you guys yet, but I've done a lot of shopping on this trip. I had to buy a new bag. Because I did so much shopping. I went to the Vineland premium outlets on my first evening here. I bought all the things. Let me show you the bag. I had to buy a gigantic new bag from Nike because I bought so much. Gosh, and to be fair, like that bag is very full, but I bought, on my way out from Heathrow, I bought a giant 100ml bottle of my Penhaligon Solaris perfume. So that's big and heavy. And then my first evening here, I went to the outlets and I bought a new Coach handbag. I bought some new like clothes and t-shirts. I bought gifts for people from the Disney Character Warehouse. And then at Disney, I bought some things at Disney, and I know that bag looks like a lot, but it's just because I've kind of moved a bunch of things from my little suitcase over to that bag that I wanted to that I want to check in when I fly, so that my hand luggage is lighter. So it's not all stuff that I've bought. I haven't bought an entire bag of things, but it is a lot. So yeah, and I'm going to buy more. Like, I'm going to the other premium outlets at International Drive later this afternoon. So once I've checked in at Marriott, I'm gonna get an Uber up to the other outlets. Have a look there. Things are just so much cheaper here than in the UK. Like Coach, like their handbags are half the price here, and I love them. I've got a few of them now, and they're just half the price here. So obviously I'm gonna buy them when I'm here. And then I also need to find a CVS or a Publix or a Target or something, because I need my melatonin gummies to take back with me. I need my cheap liquid IV. And then I also need to stock up on Tylenol PM. So yeah, bunch of things that I just need to get before I leave. But anyway, that's the plan for today. And then this evening, I'm so excited. I've got a booking at Brother Jimmy's Barbecue. Brother Jimmy's Barbecue is, well, it was one of my favourite restaurants in New York. They closed all the New York locations. There's only the one in Florida now, I think. So as soon as I saw that the Orlando one was still open, I was like, oh my God, I have to go there. So that's where I'm going for dinner tonight. If I have the energy after, I want to go to, there's a bar, I think it's called PBR Cowboy Bar, and it's like a line dancing bar. So I really want to go there. So if I have the energy, I will go and check it out, because it's near Brother Jimmy's Barbecue. And then yeah, and then tomorrow I'm just gonna have a lazy pool day and just chill before my evening flight. So yeah, that is the plan. Anyway, come with, and yeah, let's have a nice quiet couple of days in Orlando outside of Disney. So I got the bus from Coronado Springs to Magic Kingdom. I won't lie, it was slightly weird going to Magic Kingdom and not actually going into the park. I just kind of bypassed the park and went straight to the monorail. But it was also kind of nice knowing that I was having a more relaxed day than the previous few days. So yeah, I got the monorail. I took it kind of, I did a little resort hop, although I just visited the Grand Floridian, but the monorail did take me the whole loop around the lake, which was really nice. I have to say, I do love the monorail. I think it's my favourite form of like Disney transport. It's just so unique. And after going through the Contemporary, which was really cool, we finally got to Grand Floridian to find that the Easter display had been taken down. Why did they take it down the evening of Easter? So Easter Sunday was the day before this. So I assumed that it would still be there on Easter Monday. No, they had removed it. So I was devastated about that. So I just went into the little shops in the hotel. The shops there are really cute. They have some really nice things, but it's all very expensive. Um, and then I decided to head to Disney Springs, so walk to the bus stop at the hotel. I will say this hotel is stunning. Like the details of everything are just beautiful. Like it's such a beautiful hotel. But I don't think I'd want to stay there. Like it's not really my vibe. It's a little bit oldie woldy. But I'm desperate to stay at the Polynesian next time I go. But anyway, I finally got to Disney Springs and did some shopping, got some bits for my dad from Ron John's surf shop. My parents live in Cornwall on the beach and my dad surfs, so I just wanted to get him a few little things from Ron John's. And then, yeah, I just had a wander around Disney Springs before heading to the boathouse for lunch. You guys, I love this place so much. Like, it was probably one of my favorite restaurants that I visited the whole time I was in Orlando. Everything was just perfect. Like, this mocktail was amazing. The menu was stunning, like, truly stunning. And they were so helpful as well. I couldn't decide between the taco and the lobster roll. So they said they would bring me one taco so I could try the taco and then also have the lobster roll. So I was a very happy girl. I was thrilled. Both of them were amazing, so I'm really glad that I did get both, and I would highly recommend getting both of them as well. Like, look at all that lobster. It was just incredible. And then after Disney Springs, I then had to get the bus back to the resort, pick up my luggage from the resort. Luckily, they're really good at keeping your luggage for you in like a separate little room, so that you can kind of enjoy the day without needing to carry your luggage around, which is handy. So yeah, picked up my luggage and then got an Uber over to the Marriott World Center. And apparently, this Marriott is the biggest Marriott in the whole world. Like, it is huge, it's ginormous. But uh, I wasn't a huge fan of it. After being at a Disney resort, it just felt so gross. It just felt really old and tired, and I just wasn't a big fan of it. So, yeah, I'm kind of sad that I ended my trip in this Marriott. Okay, so I've just checked into the Marriott World Center. I think it's called the Marriott World Center Orlando. It's a bit of a mouthful, but I've just checked in after. I did not want to check out of that Disney resort, I'm not gonna lie. Like, being in that little Disney bubble, I wasn't expecting to love it as much as I did. Like, I really, really loved it. It was just like, it just felt so lovely. And I really did not want to check out and leave it and come to a Marriott. I mean, but I just checked in. She did not tell me what room I had. Bearing in mind, I booked this hotel basically like with a free night voucher that I had in my Marriott account. I mean, I have to show you this room. I just walked in and I was like, what the hell? I have to show you and turn you around. Hang on a minute. Okay, so I just walked in and I was like, oh, a living room. Have I got a little junior suite? And then I was like, hang on, the bedroom is through there in a separate room. So what is round here? Wait until you see. I have a whole dining room. I have a whole apartment, guys. I have a whole apartment. Look at it. Like, what? I have a great big living room. This room is bigger than my house. I have, like, my house in London, I think is probably only a tiny bit bigger than this. So we have this little living room with a humongous TV, a whole balcony, a whole dining area. Like, what? Oh my gosh. This is wild. I'm so confused. And then we come through here to the bedroom. Although this bedroom's a little bit odd because you've kind of got to keep the doors open to have a window, which feels a little bit strange. It's kind of like you're in like a cupboard, and also the ceiling is a lot lower. I don't know if you can see. That ceiling is a lot lower than this one. So it feels a little bit like a hobbit house in this bedroom. Very odd, but, oh, and then this loops back around here. I'm just gonna, here we go. Ta-da! Welcome to my humble abode. And then here we have the bath and shower. And toilets. Okay, I will do a proper room tour when I get sorted. And when I kind of like absorb all of this. I'm just a bit like, what is happening? So I chilled by the swimming pool, which was nice, but it kind of got cloudy in the afternoon. And then I did actually make it to Brother Jimmy's barbecue that evening for dinner, which was amazing. Like, it was just as good as I remembered it being in New York. So that was great. Like, thoroughly enjoyed it. Could not finish it all though. And after a great sleep, I woke up bright and early the next morning and obviously had to go to IHOP for breakfast, because did I even go to America if I didn't go to IHOP and get my standard Arnold Palmer with my pancakes, eggs, hash browns, and sausages? I don't think so. Then finally, it was time to go to Walmart. Alright, so I just got back from Walmart. Here are my goodies. This is what I pick up every time I come to the US. I'm obsessed with Smart Sweets. I usually get them in the airport on my way out, but they had them in Walmart, so I picked up some. I also am obsessed with the Tate's Bake Shop cookies. I usually either get the choc chip or the oatmeal raisin. They did not have choc chip, so I just got the oatmeal raisin today. I also stock up on toothpaste because their mini toothpastes are just a much better size than the UK mini ones. They're like double the size, but still within the liquid allowance for like short breaks and weekends away. So I always get some of those. I also always get Neosporin. I stock up every time I come. It's just really handy to have and to travel with. I also always stock up in a big 100 caplet pack of Tylenol PM. It's a combination of paracetamol and an antihistamine, and I am an allergy girly. I have a lot of allergies, so I find these really useful, especially around hay fever season. I also get the big bumper packs of Band-Aids. I think Band-Aids are just a much better quality than the Elastoplast plaster brand we have in the UK. They're a lot stronger, they last a lot longer, and I just much prefer them. So I always stock up on those. So I've got 160 to take home with me. And then lastly, my melatonin gummies. I always stock up on these. I get the big packs of the extra strength, but instead of having the 2 gummy dosage, I just have 1 gummy, which is 2.5 milligrams of melatonin. And I find that works really well for me. I've also got an extra one for my travel bestie, Aftab. He asked me to pick one up for him. I've just got 2 for myself. And that's it. That is my lovely little supply package that will basically last me until I next come to the US. And that was it. It was time for my trip to finish. I waited for my Uber driver, and I had the best Uber driver. He was this lovely Peruvian man, and we got chatting about how much I love Peru, how amazing it is, all the food I ate there last year, and just spoke about everything. I love taxi rides like that. It was just so nice. But Orlando Airport, can we please have a moment for this airport, because it is one of my favourite airports. It's small, it's compact, but it has everything you need. And my taxi driver gave me this little Mulan toy, which I'm going to treasure forever. So that is it. Please subscribe if you haven't already, like this video, and I will see you very soon for more travels. Thanks for watching. Bye!